My people, una well done for this Sunday afternoon. How una body dey today? I pray say make hunger no kill anybody, make sickness no too worry us, and make corruption no make us miss road. My name na Marvelous Obomana. Na with sweet heart I dey welcome una to Corruption Tori this Sunday. Una do. You know say my people talk say if palm fruit never fall gidim, mkpụrụ mma, the man wey dey cut am, no go stop. That one come be say if we never kill corruption, we no fit say the fight don finish. But why this corruption no wan die for Nigeria na? So that we go rest. Na the matter wey we carry come for Corruption Tori today. Abeg, tanda with us.
This na Corruption Tori.
Some months wey don pass for Abuja, one oyibo jam body wey dem dey call Chatham House Africa carry one scatterhead question throway for Naija pipo. We get EFCC, we get ICPC, we get police, we even get DSS. All these government pipo, their work na to grab anybody, any company, any politician or any civil servant wey put hand for kerukeru matter or any magumagurish wayo and chop clean mouth. Today, dis government pipo go tell countryman say they don catch dis thief, they don catch dat thief, they don catch dat yahoo big boy, they don even catch dat man wey dey use pen dey chop money for office, even accountant wey no dey take eye see billion naira. But still yet, corruption dey waka for Nigeria like say na him get dis country. Why e be so? As pipo dey look at the question, one join body wey dey work with government wey dem dey call Technical Unit on Governance and Anti-Corruption Reform, wey be TUGA for short, come talk say dem know wetin dey happen. Jane Owumere wey come from TUGA come talk say corruption dey waka anyhow for Nigeria because say EFCC, ICPC, police, DSS, all of them dey dance dey look their own waist. Nobody dey cooperate with another person. Jane come advise say all these anti-corruption agencies must to dey talk to themselves. They must share information and they must work together if they wan kill corruption patapata for Nigeria.
In the fight against corruption, you cannot do away with the issue of interagency cooperation and collaboration because it is key. The ICPC, police, PPP, as well as Office of the Auditor General and quite a few others. But without data, it is very difficult to curb corruption.
For this scatterhead question wey Chatham House Africa carry come, ICPC look and finish come say no be only one person dey waka come when corruption dey happen. Professor Olatunde Babawale wey be commandant of Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria wey dey train EFCC and ICPC pipo come open the matter yakata. Him talk say any money wey dem thief for government, e get two pipo wey go do am: civil servant or public servant, and somebody wey dey outside wey go help them collect the money.
Sometimes you begin to wonder what people think about when they amass a humongous amount of wealth that they amass. So you cannot understand the psychology behind that. 69% of public servants indicated that their communities will accept monetary gifts that they give to them without asking questions, even when those gifts are way beyond their earnings. We have corruption manifesting in what we have called public-private arbitration, meaning that the huge corruption that happens when 80 billion or 100 billion is doing, no single individual can single-handedly lift it. You have the public sector, the private sector perpetrating this act.
But wetin countryman and government go do to stop this magumaguru behavior wey even civil servants dey put hand? Na this question Accountability Lab, one jam body wey dey put eye for everything wey government dey do, come talk say government people wey need to put hand for this kind wayo must be celebrated. And na this make Accountability Lab dey give award to such civil servants, make people dey see say no be every Nigerian dey bad or dey corrupt.
Past 5 years, it's been quite interesting and a lot of learning for us in naming and framing honest public officials. In recent times, we have moved on to building a network of public servants who have across the year we've supported in this campaign. But two things that we can quickly talk about the impacts around what they have been doing is basically around service delivery and rebuilding trust with the Nigerian citizens. Every Nigerian wants to walk into the immigration service to get their passports without paying bribes or getting their driver's license without paying bribes.
For dis matter, Azuka Ogugwa wey from ICPC come talk say na small pikin wey dey thief im mama fish na im dey become big arm robber. She talk say na sake of say dey no teach many big men today say thief dey bring shame when dey dey small, na him make dem dey open eye dey carry government money anyhow.
You're talking about content of the curriculum, the content of what the students are exposed to, and the processes, enrollment process, exam process. You're talking about even the popular one now that everybody is interested in, school feeding programs. And you're talking about even the larger environmental issues that affect our educational sector, as well as the organizational issues, as well as the personnel. So when talking about the education sector, there is really a whole lot to chew. There were gaps in the curriculum as at the time we started civic education as a subject that used to teach moral education was no longer there. So we saw that as a major gap. We noticed that administratively, examination malpractices were everywhere. Everywhere you turned to, there was examination malpractice going on, and it had started becoming like a kind of norm that you couldn't see anybody passing on their own merit. Most people had cheated at some point or the other.
EFCC chairman Abdulrasheed Bawa come talk say many Nigerians no dey put interest for wetin law enforcement agencies dey do. He come advise them say make dem dey carry eye dey put for wetin law enforcement agencies dey do.
The citizens can further push for accountability. The anti-corruption agencies were pushing for more appropriate countermeasures and taking on active interest in the affairs of even the agencies themselves. That the EFCC will get to anywhere, anytime.
Other people wey come for the Jambody na the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and one Jambody wey dey call Step Up Nigeria and other ones.
The people who are most disproportionately affected by corruption and its impact are those who are the vulnerable people, the most vulnerable people, because it increases the costs they have to pay for services, increases issues relating to access, and it limits their capacity to contribute meaningfully to society. We also see a situation where someone who earns 30,000 today, his purchasing power reduces significantly because of issues relating to corruption. So we're also seeing that widening of the inequality gap. The poor becomes the tool for corruption. They are forced to pay their way to get access to services, and they become those agents that sort of legitimize corruption, because they also don't understand how the system works. So sometimes when people are poor and vulnerable and they don't even understand the rules, they are manipulated to do the wrong thing, more out of ignorance than out of actually setting out to aid or abet corruption.
Since 2018, we've provided anti-corruption education to over 39,000 children from over 800 schools across 6 Nigerian states actually. And what we do that is different is we adopt the storytelling approach. So rather than going into schools and just telling children corruption is bad, not engaging it, we use storytelling as our approach to engage the children. And what we use when we provide anti-corruption education, we are targeting children between the ages of 6 to 15 in primary and secondary schools, as well as out-of-school children and children with disabilities, because we do not believe that corruption shows any preference in how it affects people in the community. So we target all children. And what we try to do with the storytelling approach is we explain the negative impact of corruption and its cost. We also explain the need to act with integrity and the attendant benefits that come with that, while we use positive messaging to show children how you can go about tackling some of these issues that's tackling corruption.
In the past 3 electoral cycles from 2021, the Commission, deeply concerned with and committed to deepening the integrity of elections in Nigeria, put in place several operational, administrative, and technological measures to ensure greater transparency and accountability in the electoral process. Operationally, we have enhanced the security of election materials, we've updated and revised our regulations, guidelines, and manuals, and also implemented voting procedures to address loopholes in previous elections. Politicians, now realizing that every vote counts, go to the polling units with bags of money to induce voters. This is a sad development which portrays our country in a bad light. The Commission has made it clear that open votes buying will not be tolerated on election day. Our democracy should not be for sale in the open market, and votes are not commodities to be bargained, bought and sold.
But some very important people wey from religious bodies dey come for this jambody too. Bishop Hassan Kuka and Imam Bashir Mundi wey come from Christian and Muslim come vex sake of say politicians don carry politics enter church and mosque. They come dey wonder how Nigerian government wey dey holla say e no get money come dey throw away money to send people go pilgrimage. You know see?
Corruption in Nigeria is a hydra-headed monster. It's a hydra-headed monster whose tentacles manifest in different aspects of our lives. It manifests in the religious space. Another issue, whether states should be using state funds and resources to send Muslim scholars to Hajj or Christian clerics to pilgrimage in Rome or Jerusalem. I don't have to tell you about the very disgusting, crass orgy of corruption that we all witnessed live in the primary elections of the two major parties in Nigeria. There was no, hiding. Now, how do we expect that these crops of leaders will be the ones to come and superintend over EFCC or ICPC and ensure that there's no corruption in Nigeria? The system, the institutions are themselves, in their DNA, they are genetically deformed and flawed.
Religion has been conscripted into the public space by a corrupt political elite that simply legitimizes its claim by the number of characters it can manufacture. And as you can see, it is actually quite interesting that politicians can create bishops and priests overnight. Given the potency of religion, its importation into politics has further dampened and created so much confusion. And as you rightly said about pilgrimages, when Obasanjo became president, they said, okay, we're going to have a pilgrimage, but only for. Then they suddenly realized how profitable it is. And suddenly, with government money, with the money of the people of Nigeria, year in, year out, billions of naira are voted for, and individuals are going, pilgrimage has become a tourism.
E be like say, if you waka go this corner, corruption dey there. You waka go that corner, corruption dey there. To kill this corruption, countryman must join hand with government for this fight wey wan kill us wey be corruption. We need to kill am before e go kill us o. Na here corruption tori go end for today. Make me and you meet again next Sunday. My name na Marvelous Obomman, your Tori master. Una bye bye yo.